Hello, my dear students, and welcome back. I know, exams are just around the corner, and things are probably getting a little bit stressful. But don't you worry at all. In this quick explainer, we're going to break down the Rocking Horse winner into simple, easy points that will help you score full marks. So are you ready? Let's begin. And hey, before we really get into it, you know what to do. If you find these explainers useful, just take a second to hit that subscribe button and maybe share it with a friend who's also studying. It really helps me make more of these for all of you. Okay, now let's dive into this amazing story. So, let me start by asking you a question, a really big one. What is the price of a mother's love? Is it something you can buy with money? This simple, powerful question is right at the center of the very sad, very tragic story we're about to uncover.
Now, our story doesn't begin with a person. No. It begins with a place. It begins with a house. A house that has a very dark secret. A house that whispers. From the outside, this family looks absolutely perfect. You know, like one of those families you see on Instagram, right? A beautiful mother, a handsome father, 3 lovely children, a nice big house. Everything looks flawless. But behind this picture-perfect image, there's a huge problem. A secret that everyone in the family knows deep down, but nobody ever talks about. And that secret? They never feel like they have enough money.
And you know, this secret, it's almost like a ghost living in their home. A cold, constant whisper that you can hear in every corner. There must be more money. Imagine being a child and hearing this whisper from your expensive toys, from your brand new rocking horse. It's a horrible feeling, and it filled the entire house with anxiety. And all this pressure brings us to the hero of our story, a little boy named Paul. This constant need for money sends him on a really desperate and ultimately tragic search for one thing he thinks will fix everything for his mother, and that thing is luck.
So one day, little Paul asks his mother, "Mommy, why are we so poor?" And she replies with these very cold, bitter words. She tells him it's better to be born lucky than rich. Now for Paul, this isn't just some casual comment. These words get stuck in his head. It becomes his obsession. He decides right then and there, I must be lucky.
You see, her words don't make him sad. They actually light a fire in him. He becomes so determined to prove to his mother that he is lucky, because in his little heart, he believes that if he can find this luck, if he can get her the money she wants, then maybe, just maybe, he can finally win the love and attention she's never really given him.
So how on earth is a little boy going to find luck? Well, Paul comes up with a very strange and secret method, and it all has to do with his favorite toy. Okay, so here's the secret plan. First, Paul gets on his wooden rocking horse and rides it with this crazy, terrifying energy. He rides and rides like a madman until he gets into a kind of trance, a special state where he just knows the name of the winning horse in an upcoming race. He then forms a secret partnership with Bassett, the family gardener, who takes Paul's money and places the bets. And soon after, his uncle Oscar finds out about their little secret, and guess what? Seeing that it's actually working, he joins them too. It's like a secret betting club.
And the craziest part? It works. The first time on a horse named Daffodil, Paul wins 1,500 pounds. That's about 1.5 lakh rupees. Can you imagine? A huge amount of money. This just proves to them that a strange, magical method is actually real.
And he doesn't stop there. Oh no. On another horse, Lively Spark, he wins 10,000 pounds. That's 10 lakh rupees. A little boy on his toy horse, winning a fortune. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? So Paul has the money now. He has the one thing his mother always said she wanted. So the whispering in the house should stop, and he'll finally get her love. Problem solved, right? Happy ending? No, not at all. In fact, this is where the story takes a very dark, very tragic turn.
So Paul secretly arranges for his mother to get 5,000 pounds, that's 5 lakh rupees, as a birthday gift. He's sure this will make her happy and finally quiet the whispering house. But what happens is the complete opposite. She gets even greedier. She asks for all the money at once, and once she spends it, the whispers, they don't stop. They get louder. They become more frantic, screaming for even more money. He thought he was putting out a fire, but he actually just poured petrol all over it.
Okay, Beta, listen up. This brings us to a super important point. This is your exam checkpoint. Why wasn't his mother happy? Why did giving her more money just make the whispers louder? I want you to pause for a second and really think about this.
Did you get it? The answer, and this is a key point for your exam, is that her desire for money was like a bottomless pit. The more you put in, the emptier it seemed. The real problem wasn't a lack of money. It was a lack of love and satisfaction in her own heart. And that's something that no amount of money in the world could ever fix. Make sure you remember this point.
So Paul is absolutely terrified. His beautiful plan has completely backfired. The whispers are worse than they've ever been, and he feels all this pressure building up inside him. He becomes completely desperate to find the winner of the biggest horse race of the year, the Derby.
And this enormous pressure starts to destroy his health. He loses some bets and becomes anxious. Then his eyes become wild. He stops eating, he gets thin and tense, and he's obsessed with the Derby. He just keeps repeating to himself, I've got to know, I've got to know. Finally, the night before the big race, his mother is at a party, but she feels a strange anxiety too, so she comes home to check on him.
And that's when she finds him, in his dark room, riding his rocking horse like a man possessed, his eyes blazing. It's a terrifying sight. She flicks on the light, and in that moment, he screams out the name of the winning horse, it's Malabar. And then he just collapses. He falls into a brain fever, and he never, ever recovers.
But his final prediction? It was correct. Malabar won the race. And from that one last bet, Paul won over 80,000 pounds for his mother. That's more than 80 lakh rupees. He finally found the ultimate luck. He got her all the money she could ever want. But it cost him everything. It cost him his life.
Phew, what a story. Okay, now that we've gone through the plot, let's switch gears. Let's talk about the key themes and symbols that you need to know to write a top-scoring answer in your exam. This is the part that will get you those full marks. All right, here is a question that you will almost certainly see on your exam paper in some form. What is the symbolism of the rocking horse? What does it really mean in the story? Here are the points you need to remember. First, it represents the mad, crazy chase for money and material things. Second, it's a very powerful symbol of lost innocence, a child's toy being used for a very dark adult obsession like gambling. Third, and this is a brilliant point, so make a note of it, think about what a rocking horse does. It moves with so much energy, back and forth, furiously, but it never actually goes anywhere. This is a perfect symbol for the family's endless, useless chase for money that never brings them any real happiness. And finally, you can say it is the secret altar where Paul sacrifices his childhood and in the end his own life, all for a mother's love that he was never going to get. And this story ends with these absolutely chilling words from Uncle Oscar. He tells Paul's mother, Hester, that she might have 80,000 pounds, but she has lost her son. He says Paul is better off dead than to live in a world where a child has to ride his toy horse to his death just to find a winner, just to feel loved. It's a powerful, tragic ending, and it leaves us all thinking, what is the real price of our desires?